People travel to a remote island in search of new experiences, not realizing they're about to arrive at a place that is the very embodiment of paradise. On an island, in the middle of the ocean, a young girl desperately calls out for yacht, trying to find anyone, just someone. But she's met with eerie silence, and instead of people, she finds an empty bottle on the beach. Picking it up, memories of past events flood back, the party, loud music, and everyone having fun. Looking around, the girl calls out for yacht again. 2 days earlier, in an unknown location, a girl sits surrounded by countless monitors. She's scrolling through the growing followers on the Smash Peak website, clearly searching for someone. At one point, a photo of a young girl and her account pops up on the screen. Meanwhile, in Barcelona, this girl arrives home, where her younger sister Gabby is waiting. Gabby suggests she talk to their mom, but Zoa refuses. Retreating to her room, she receives a message from an unknown sender, inviting her to an exclusive party. Back at the other location, the girl who found Zoa's account reports to her boss that she managed to complete the task, finding 100 people for the party, even though this time it was much harder. Smirking, the woman says they've raised the requirements for candidates and have become far more selective. Later, Zoa packs her things and meets up with her friend. Even though the agreement says she can't bring anyone, she decides to bend the rules and take her friend along to paradise. At the designated meeting spot, yacht and Zoa meet a guy named Aldo. He's also invited to the party. As they talk, a drone suddenly flies toward them, clearly showing them where to go next. Without hesitation, they follow the drone. Climbing a set of stairs, they arrive in a strange warehouse-like room. Inside, they find other people who were also invited to the party. Approaching a guy, Aldo tries to get some details, but he doesn't know anything yet. A few minutes later, the lights suddenly go out, and at the far end of the room, a large bus decorated with lights appears, blasting music. Realizing it's here for them, the excited crowd rushes toward it, anticipating an incredible party. As everyone boards, the bus sets off with a dancing crowd inside. At that moment, a latecomer dashes from around the corner, nearly throwing himself under the bus, begging to come along. The driver stops, asks for his name, and opens the doors. Charlie boards and joins the party. While the bus carries them to the next location, the young people dive into the fun, drinking, dancing, and celebrating. After some time, the bus stops and the doors open. Stepping outside, they see that morning has arrived and they're at a pier, where a yacht awaits. Lining up, the boys and girls go through a security check. They are asked to leave their phones and any metal items, which will be returned after the party. One girl, a blogger and singer named Africa, tries to negotiate an exception. With 1 million followers, a photo of the party would be great publicity, but the security refuses. They have their own cameras and don't need promotion. Reluctantly, she complies and hands over her phone. However, as she passes through the scanner, the detectors go off. Africa is furious that they want to search her further. The alarms were triggered by her boots. Once they verify she's right, the security finally lets her onto the yacht. Zoa passes through without any issues, but her friend yacht is stopped. She's not on the guest list and wasn't officially invited. Seeing her friend being denied, Zoa considers going back home, but yacht convinces her to come along. Zoa hesitates, remembering her struggles with her drug-addicted mother and the responsibility she has for her younger sister. At that moment, the party organizers call, allowing yacht to board with everyone else. As they board the yacht, the DJ kicks off a new party, promising it will be the adventure of their lives. Meanwhile, the girl and her boss Astrid review the guests' profiles. They select 5 people to try their new drink and join them later, while the rest are left to enjoy the party and then leave. Later, yacht wakes to loud knocking, rousing Zoa. They step out of their cabin and head upstairs. On the horizon, the island is coming into view. They're almost there. At the same time, Astrid and her partner watch as the yacht approaches the shore. The guest team is ready, checking everyone with metal detectors and putting bracelets on their wrists. Some of the bracelets immediately glow blue. Once the formalities are done, the staff starts the party. A little away from the dancers, Africa pulls out her hidden phone and takes a few selfies. While photographing herself, she recalls her work and packed schedule. Despite her fame and high earnings, she's far from happy. That's why she agreed to the unknown party, to relax and disconnect. As night falls and the party hits full swing, Africa takes the stage to sing her hits. Spotlights project a hologram of Astrid, who greets everyone and introduces the new drink. Those with glowing bracelets get to try the energy drink, while the rest will receive it when they return home. After her speech, a few people drink it and the party continues. One guy with a glowing bracelet steps away from the crowd toward the water. A girl approaches him, trying to start a conversation and find out what's wrong. He says he's fine and talks about his life, how much he hates his father, calls him weak, and how one argument led him to agree to this party. Meanwhile, yacht goes to a quieter spot with her new acquaintance. Suddenly, she hears a loud scream. A guy with a glowing bracelet demands his drink from the bartender. An island worker intervenes, removing Frank from his duties and resolving the conflict. As soon as the bartender retreats to the back, 2 guys follow him and beat him for disobedience. Yacht witnesses this and steps in, preventing them from killing Frank. Terrified, she runs away. At that moment, everyone who drank the new energy drink starts feeling sick, hallucinating and vomiting. Hiding with her new acquaintance, Judith tells him in horror what she saw, the two men trying to kill the bartender. He reassures her, distracting her and promising to protect her from everything. Feeling safe, she relaxes and kisses him. Their moment is briefly interrupted by another girl joining them. Meanwhile, Zoa is in bad shape. Semi-conscious, she wanders deeper into the island. She hallucinates her mother's voice and unknowingly steps to the edge of a cliff. As her foot hovers over the drop, someone grabs her from behind. It's a young man. Astrid and her partner, standing in a spacious lounge with glasses of champagne and whiskey, calmly discuss the 5 selected participants. Astrid is thrilled with their choice, but her partner reminds her that new people can sometimes disappoint. Astrid believes the drink has already forced each person to look within and confront their vulnerabilities. Most felt lonely, forgotten, rejected, and in need of new support, a family they could rely on. They go through the 5 individually. The man bets on Zoa, seeing her as strong, mature, and responsible. Astrid picks Bone, reliable, obedient, yet sensitive, a rare combination. Aldo is recognized as ambitious, with natural decisiveness. Charlie seems chaotic and unstable, which makes him adaptable. Africa, with her rebellious energy, narcissism, and ambition, excites both of them. Astrid announces that each of the 5 will be assigned a mentor. The next morning, Zoa wakes with a pounding headache, horrified to find herself on the cliff's edge. Searching for Judith, she finds no one, only an empty energy drink bottle on the beach. A few minutes later, Charlie wakes to her screams, and Judith finds Africa in one of the back rooms, rousing her and leading her outside. Soon after, Aldo arrives, followed by another guy. Together, they wonder where everyone else went. Were they abandoned on the island? Zoa can't believe Judith would leave her. Trying to recall the previous day and night, the group notices a drone in the sky. It flies toward them, and they realize they must follow it. Without hesitation, they set off. After a long journey, they reach a settlement where Astrid and her team greet them. Stepping forward, she welcomes them to Eden. Meanwhile, Judith sprints across the island in desperation. Pausing to catch her breath, she's horrified to see a guy immediately grab her. The next morning, one of the guys is checking around the yacht and notices that 2 of the girls are missing from the crowd. He approaches one of the staff members and asks them to go back to the island to get them. But the staff member refuses, explaining that the party crew is still on the island and will take care of anyone left behind, bringing them along when they return to the mainland. Meanwhile, on the island, Astrid's group is hunting Frank. The bloodied and beaten young man is desperately trying to escape and avoid being caught, but at the most unexpected moment, he runs into Eva. At the same time, Astrid is giving a tour of her community to the 5 newcomers. She explains that they grow all their own food, which is completely organic. Any problems are solved together at community meetings. Their way of life is somewhat like a beehive. Everyone works hard and supports one another. Currently, there are 53 people living on the island, but Astrid is confident that number will grow soon. She then shows them the modular homes where community members live, designed according to a special plan. Suddenly, Zoa notices a guy, the one who was with Judith the night before. Spotting her gaze, he quickly looks away. Meanwhile, Frank pleads with Eva not to turn him in, but she can't act any other way. Gathering her courage, she informs the others that she's found him. While surveying the area, Africa asks why they even needed the party. The man explains it's for advertising their new drink, made entirely from natural ingredients and set to launch in a couple of weeks. And the 5 newcomers will definitely be featured in the commercial. Listening to him, Aldo is outraged by the party's organization. They were left on the island and now have to wait for another boat. As they continue walking, the group arrives at the impressive house where Astrid lives with her companion. While examining the house, Zoa decides to ask about Judith, wanting confirmation that everyone else really left. The woman assures her that Judith definitely left with the group and that she has no reason to worry. The rest of them will also leave the island tomorrow. For now, everyone can relax and explore. Hearing that they'll only be sent home the next day, Aldo is furious. Ignoring the guy's complaints, Astrid asks Ulysses to show the newcomers to their modular homes. Once the group departs, a girl approaches Astrid, telling her that the situation with Frank has been resolved. Meanwhile, in Barcelona, Gabby is having breakfast. Her father comes out of the bedroom with his new girlfriend. Gabby isn't thrilled but informs him that Zoa isn't home. Her father explains about their mother. She's been discharged from the clinic and wants to see her, but he's firmly against it, convinced the treatment hasn't worked yet again. Once the man and his girlfriend leave, Gabby texts her sister, worried because she hasn't heard from her. Ulysses assigns each of the 5 newcomers to their modules. In their new homes, everyone meets their neighbors. Zoan encounters Nicholas and a gloomy, withdrawn Claudia. Sitting on the bed, she notices letters carved into the wooden frame, C+F. Seeing that Zoa noticed them, Claudia instantly recalls Frank and everything that happened with him that night. Entering his module, Charlie finds a compliment from Edam and immediately dives into the food. Meanwhile, Aldo talks with his neighbor, frustrated that he's being held on the island and unwilling to believe the community doesn't have their own boats to take them home. The girl advises him to calm down and behave, but he ignores her. At the same time, Africa is getting settled in her new place. At night, after everyone falls asleep, Aldo carefully sneaks out of his module and heads outside. But before he can take a few steps, a drone appears behind him. Scared, he decides to return to his module. The next morning, the five are gathered together again. They are given medical tests to check for infections and issued uniforms like the ones the community wears. Observing everything, Aldo refuses to be examined or wear the uniform. Reluctantly, Ulysses allows him to stay in his own clothes and explains that due to bad weather, the boat will only arrive the next day. Separating from the group, Africa heads to the beach. She quietly takes out her phone, trying to get a signal. A man appears behind her, smirking. There's no signal on the island, and her phone should have been taken before she left the yacht. But noticing her outfit, he realizes she smuggled it in her boot. Reluctantly giving the phone back, she asks for a cigarette, only to be told that smoking isn't allowed on the island. The man explains the community's philosophy: the body is a home that needs care, worries should be let go, and it's important to enjoy the moment, because in Eden they live in the present. Africa reacts with irony, remembering her time in Catholic school. To lighten the mood, the man shows her a tattoo on his side that reads "Together in Paradise," explaining it was the first phrase Astrid told them when they arrived. She asks about his wrist tattoo and jokingly mentions her own, a $sign. He just smiles in response. Sitting on the beach with Zoa and Charlie, Aldo complains about the delay. He urgently needs to go home to meet a client. Fed up with his whining, Charlie walks away. Spotting Claudia, Aldo tries to approach her but notices she's crying. Not wanting to explain anything, she ignores him and leaves. Meanwhile, Zoa decides to take a walk and comes across a horse farm. Getting closer, she sees two boys kissing. One of them is the guy who was with Judith at the party. She tries to ask him about her friend, but he responds rudely. Meanwhile, Eben is walking around the community when he suddenly hears a piano. Curious, he goes to check and finds a girl playing a sad, beautiful melody. After he compliments her, she invites him to play. Sitting at the piano, he starts hesitantly but then stops. He had always been pressured by his father when playing, and now he can't get past his mental block. The girl encourages him and offers help. He says nothing and leaves, but finally learns her name, Alma. Sitting near his module, Aldo notices a buggy arriving. Seizing the opportunity, he steals the vehicle to explore the island, but the security monitors immediately show where he's going. A girl notices the violation and reports it. A chase begins. He manages to evade one car but crashes into another, blocking the road completely. Stopping, he admits he just wanted to explore and asks how they found him so fast. The girl simply smiles. Looking at his bracelet, Aldo realizes it's a tracker. Meanwhile, Zoa is sitting by the ocean when Nicholas approaches. She shares her worries about her younger sister waiting at home. While they talk, Gabby delivers a gift from Zoa. Later, the entire community gathers for a meeting. They thank Eva for her loyalty and vigilance, and Astrid asks her to choose someone to speak at the ceremony. Scanning the crowd, she picks Zoa. Zoa is slightly embarrassed since she's just passing through. Stepping into the center, she introduces herself. She's a biology student, takes care of her younger sister Gabby. Their father travels constantly, and their mother is a heroin addict, so they've learned to take care of themselves. She explains how she affectionately calls her sister Belachka. At that moment, the girl who selected the five sends Gabby a message on Zoa's behalf. Her sister wants to be alone for now and asks not to be looked for. Reading the message, Gabby immediately calls Zoa, but reaches voicemail. Meanwhile, Astrid convinces Zoa that her mother doesn't love or value her, so there's no point in deceiving herself. She asks Zoa to say out loud several times that her mother doesn't love her, that she despises her. After Zoa does this, Astrid hugs her, telling her she's special. Afterward, everyone in the community hugs each other, and the ceremony concludes. Off to the side, Claudia, Africa, and Aldo watch quietly. Meanwhile, Gabby storms into her sister's room. Furious and desperate that her sister acted this way on her birthday, she trashes the room and collapses to the floor, exhausted. At night, Zoa suddenly wakes up and sees a boy outside her window. Surprised, she rushes out, but finds no one there. Waking up at 6 a.m., the girl washes her face, has a fruit smoothie for breakfast, and heads to her favorite computers. From there, she monitors everything happening in the settlement, keeping track of every move of all the community members. In the morning, Ulysses delivers good news to the group of five. The weather has finally cleared, and a boat will pick them up tomorrow morning. Aldo immediately asks to call his secretary to give work instructions, but he's denied. There's no signal on the island, and they have their own special communication system with the mainland. Frustrated, he feels like they're treating them like fools. Meanwhile, Gabby calls her mother. She's told that Zoa has disappeared and that her father has left on another trip. Strangely, Zoa sent a birthday cake but didn't come herself. Worried about her daughter living alone, her mother promises to search for Zoa and find out what happened. Aldo approaches Ebone, who's worried about the consequences waiting for him at home due to his long absence. Suddenly, Aldo notices new people and realizes they probably arrived by boat, which only fuels his irritation. Ebone tries to calm him, reminding him that they'll leave the island tomorrow, but Aldo doesn't believe it and decides to act on his own. Meanwhile, Nico arrives at Zoa's place in a buggy and offers her a ride. She happily agrees. At the water's edge, he suggests diving. While checking their gear, Zoa asks if there are children on the island and learns there aren't any. She tells Nico she thought she saw a boy at night, but he insists she must have imagined it or been tired. Later, Gabby returns home and hears someone in the apartment. Thinking it's her sister, she rushes to the kitchen, but it's her mother. Her mother decided that, since there's no one to take care of Gabby for the next 2 weeks, she'll do it herself. She also called a friend and the police, but he advised not to worry for now. Gabby tries to convince her mother that something is wrong. She spoke with Judith's parents, and they're worried because their daughter is missing. But her mother doesn't listen, confident that Zoa is fine. Frustrated, Gabby tells her she now understands why her sister ran away. Meanwhile, Zoa and Nico explore the underwater world. After diving, they sit on a rock, enjoying the island's silence. Nico tells Zoa how Eden, seemingly alive, communicates with them, sharing thoughts and feelings. The island shows affection for her, calling her one of its favorite daughters, and reassures her about Gabby, who is calmly waiting at home. Nico explains that Mother Nature knows everything about them, syncing with their hearts, feeling like one being. He places his hand on her chest to show the rhythm of their hearts. Zoa laughs and doesn't take him seriously. Later, the whole community gathers for a communal meal. The 5 friends are surprised to find that all the dishes are plant-based. Apparently, no one eats meat on the island, and all the vegetables come from their gardens. To their amazement, the food tastes delicious, though a little unusual. After the meal, the community holds a meeting. One woman shares her past work experience. She discovered her factory was emitting more carbon dioxide than allowed. Following the rules, she reported it to management, but it did nothing. Nobody cared. She vented on Twitter, which caught management's attention, and she was fired. Listening to her, Astrid reminds everyone that for rich people, they're nobody. Wealthy people just fill their pockets while the next generations inherit a ruined planet. Here, they are truly heard and understood, and Belle is lucky to have joined their community. Before dismissing everyone, Astrid announces that the 5 guests will leave the island tomorrow morning, and that tonight there will be a big party. Back in their modules, the group begins preparing for the evening, picking out outfits. The only one not excited is Aldo, who sits on his bed, thinking about his next moves. In Barcelona, Gabby goes about her day. Her mother asks why Zoa's room is such a mess and then says she's going out with friends and will be late. That evening, the community gathers for the party. Ibone meets Alma, who shows him the piano that was moved to the beach so he could play for everyone. At first, he refuses, claiming he hasn't played in years, but after some persuasion, he sits down. Gathering his courage, he plays a beautiful melody, and everyone listens in awe. While the others are absorbed in the music, Aldo quietly removes his bracelet and sneaks into the dark. Behind a small rock, he spots people loading crates onto a boat. As soon as Ibone finishes, everyone applauds, and Alma kisses him. The party picks up, everyone dances and enjoys themselves. Charlie meets the DJ, Micah, and learns she controls the drone watching the island. Impressed, he asks her to dance, but she refuses. Upset, Charlie grabs a bottle of blue energy drink. After chugging it, he feels his mind drifting and instinctively reaches for a second bottle. Meanwhile, Astrid finds Africa on the ocean shore. Africa admits she's not in the mood for fun. She's overwhelmed by the healthy food, nature, and group therapy. Astrid is deeply troubled by this, as guest mood is very important to her. At that moment, Aldo spots the 2 women, but they don't notice him and walk away. At the height of the party, Belle approaches Zoa to talk in private, but Nico interrupts, bringing 2 bottles of energy drink and offering one to her. Initially hesitant, Zoa takes a few sips, and immediately feels her mind drifting. Meanwhile, Alma walks with Ibone. He's surprised and confused by a kiss and wonders if it was genuine. Smiling, she kisses him again, saying he doesn't need to leave the island. Aldo watches this scene from a distance. Meanwhile, Charlie approaches Claudia. Slightly out of it, he flirts, but she shuts him down. He insists, pointing out they'll leave tomorrow, but she warns they can't escape, they'll die here. Panic sets in. Aldo appears, trying to convince Charlie to escape with him, but he's too overwhelmed by fear to listen. Astrid leads Africa from the beach to her home, explaining that the world of online fame is fragile and that life in the community will be better. They don't care about fashion, connections, or popularity. They love Africa as she is and always will. Sharing champagne, Astrid talks about plans to expand the community, to protect people from themselves, guiding them like a mother, ensuring survival and a better life. She likens the community to a family, where obedience is key to harmony, gently suggesting that here, Africa can be shielded from the outside world. Astrid brings her guest to the balcony and asks a man to escort Africa. He offers her a guest room for the night, since it's her last on the island. Hesitant, she agrees she'll leave in the morning. The man leads Africa to the guest room. Looking around, she admits she dreams of sharing this place with her followers but first needs to understand where she is and who they are. He tells her she'll have all night to think and points to a tattoo of 3 stars on his wrist as a hint. Then he asks if anyone is waiting for her at home. Africa explains she's always lived alone and hasn't been in touch with her parents for a long time. He shares his story. His parents were absent too, and the only person he relied on was a driver named Pedro. That's why he believes a real family is defined by care, not blood. Meanwhile, Aldo decides to leave alone. He sneaks to the island shore and swims to the boat. Once inside, he hides in the cargo hold, hoping it will take him home. The next morning, Zoa strolls along the beach with Nico, thanking him for looking out for her and asking if he'll miss her. He says he will and tells her about a message he received from the island, asking her not to leave, or she'll suffer. Smiling at this, Zoa kisses him, and the kiss deepens. Meanwhile, Aldo wakes to the sound of the engine stopping in the cargo hold. Carefully, he climbs out to see what's happening. To his horror, he's surrounded not by the mainland but by the endless ocean. On deck, he sees a girl demanding he kneel, then she shoots him in the head. Moments later, Aldo falls dead, and the boat restarts its engine, heading back to the island. At what point would you figure out that Eden is a trap and attempt to escape? Or would you simply accept it and play by their rules? Share your thoughts in the comments down below, give a thumbs up, and subscribe to the channel. See you in the next videos.